All right. We back from a little break. One thing I wanted to hit on was like you were talking about all your anxiety. Like, what do you feel? Like when you have anxiety, you have panic attacks or?
Oh shit! Let me put my hat back on.
Oh yeah, they don't want to see the hairline. Damn.
All right.
We back.
So one of my biggest thing was when I would feel, and I think a lot of people that I've talked to is the same thing, is that you feel like the world's shutting down on you. Like for example, like right now it's bright, right? But everything starts getting like dim, dark. And it just feel like very claustrophobic, and like you start like shaking and like, you know, like, fuck, what do I do? And like, once you start feeling that way, it's like, man, like you either like close your eyes and like try to breathe and do some like breathing mechanisms and all that. But like, but it's just one of those things where it's hard to explain, but like those were the things that I would feel for sure. And like, the whole world was just like going so fast at the same time, and just like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
It's like, just like your brain's just overloaded with information. Yeah.
So, you know, and that's like, you know, like example, I like to do research on that, and that's what it seems like how anxiety is played out. That's like basically your brain trying to do too much at once and try to define what's best for you to like basically focus. And, you know, and I think being hungover, knowing that I have so much shit to do, things that I want to do, but I can't find a willpower to go do it.
It's because your body's recovering.
Yep.
And you have, you know, your brain's like, I gotta work, but your body's like, dog, you need to chill. You fucking killed yourself last night.
Yep. Yep. So, and you know, the problem was too is that when you're anxious, what's the best thing to calm down your anxiety?
Marco. Yeah, facts. Depressing.
And that's your cycle again. And then 1 turns to 2, 2 turns to 5, 5 turns to a bottle. And then you're back at it again. And you wake up the next day. Like, all right, cool, I gotta go to work. You make it to work, but then like
that shit kicks in.
You're stressing about what songs to play. You're stressing about the wrong shit that you shouldn't stress about. Because you're already a dope DJ.
Yeah.
You already know where you're like how good you are. Yeah. You're in that position already that you're already in. You're just doubting yourself because you feel like you're not doing your best because of your hangover, your anxiety, your withdrawals.
Those negative thoughts.
All like those negative things are just like affecting the focus of your mind.
Yeah.
So for a while, I was like, man, if I keep this cycle on, like this shit's gonna fuck me up. And that's eventually I was just like, yo, I gotta stop. And I've been sober before, believe it or not. So it was easy for me to go cold turkey again. Like I was like, yeah, I can do this. Like, but like, you know, me getting reintroduced to shrooms was like different.
Okay.
Because the first time I did shrooms, and this is like before I was a DJ, bro. And that's when I was like in my raver days. And I went to this festival called Something Wicked in Houston.
Oh, Something Wicked?
So,
bro, fuck yeah.
I took my first, at the time I had no idea what shrooms were,
and
right?
You took it at something, wow.
I took my first time, instead of microdosing, I took a gram of shrooms at my first time.
Oh, what?
Bro, I've never been so scared in my life at a fucking music festival.
It's a fucking Halloween with music rave, so everyone's dressed all fucking weird and shit too.
Yes.
Bro, fuck that.
Oh my God. The worst fucking trip, dude. And I told myself, I'll never, ever, ever, ever do that shit again.
Yeah.
So then I got reintroduced with my best friend, Amanda, and she basically, we were just chilling. I still wasn't drinking. And she was like, yeah, I'm not going to drink that much. I'm going to do some shrooms. You should take some. And she knows about the story of what happened because I think she was there with a different group of friends.
Yeah.
And like she was there actually helping me out. Like, yo, it's okay. But so she goes, here, just take this small bite. And I'm like, and at that time, I was still kind of like in that sober stage where you're like, damn, am I being weird? Am I acting different? Like, you know what I'm saying? So she gives me a very small piece, nothing crazy. And it's like the real thing, not chocolate bars or anything, like the real thing.
Straight.
So I take it, man, I start feeling like really good. And like, not good as in like, oh, I'm fucked up. Like, I felt my smile come out. I felt like lights were brighter. Like it was very like vibrant where I was just like
euphoric almost.
Yeah. And I was just like, damn. You know, I caught myself. The thing is, I'm conscious when I'm doing this, and I caught myself having fun, like having conversation with people. Because at first, I did have that where like I was being a weirdo. Like I'm like, damn, like am I not like being confident? Like, you know, even like big places like for example, like when I used to go in, like if I was off or I just got off bungalow early, and I'll meet up some friends, and I went to like concrete, that ceiling being so low and that many people, bro,
it's claustrophobic as fucking there.
Yeah, so I will get like fucking anxious. I'm like, yo, fuck, like, you know. And then that day actually kind of like made me like, whoa, like this is actually pretty dope. Then I took another piece that same day, and like, man, I was like vibing. Like I was like, yo, like, yeah. And then the fact that I woke up the next day like nothing happened, I was like, yo, this is cool.
I don't feel like shit right now.
I don't feel like shit. I still slept good. My mind's still right. So then I'm like, all right. Then the next day I don't remember if I hit up Amanda for some more, but like I think I did, and then I was basically like starting to like slowly take it, and like then I finally like went in and like did it while I was DJing. Yeah. Bro. Probably like to this day I wish I would have recorded that set. Really? Like even like my bosses were telling me like dog, like I don't know what you want today, but fuck, you killed it. Yeah. And like I like had this like connection with music while I was doing shrooms, and my mind just opened up to like have this connectivity where it was just like I knew how much the music was affecting people, and like that energy, and like us being empaths, like we talked about. It's not like you see the energy, but you feel it more than you usually do. Everything's heightened, you know, like your mentalness, your emotionness, your smile, and all that. Like, believe it or not, being on shrooms and getting negative energy, that shit can fuck you up too. Oh yeah. So you have to be in the right mind state to do that. Yeah. You know, and I've always told myself like being positive is the biggest thing in life to like make sure life goes well. Yeah. But yeah, like man, like once I started doing it, I was like, man, like. And then I like started taking it, started hanging out with friends around it, and like slowly, like, you know, I was like getting like, I don't want to say my confidence back, but I felt like I was like myself without like being fucked up. And I was still funny. I was still saying like dumb shit, but like talking shit, like joking around, all that. Like before I was just a listener, like I was like analyzing. That was it. Like, was this when you were sober? You were the listener, or like when sober? Yeah, when I first started. Because you are kind of weird. Like not like you, but like everybody. It's like a little weird. It's a transition period for you. It is. It's like mentally, physically. It's a transition period for you. You don't know how to act. You don't know because it's like you think about it this way, bro. Like, and this is what I tell people. If you drink every weekend, you're literally depending on your body to do a certain thing every weekend to where your body malfunctions. Facts. Yes. You know, like your body, your kidney, your liver are literally helping your body digest alcohol every fucking weekend. It doesn't matter if it's just Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It does not matter. It's one day out of the week. It minimal that you have alcohol in your body. Yeah. And so like us as DJs, like imagine like your friend coming to see you. Shot. There's always that one out of town friend. You're like, damn, must have been popular as fuck back in high school or some shit. Comes from Houston, and he's like, yo, let's drink. I'm like, oh, it's a special occasion, bro. Last week was a special occasion. Yeah, just nonstop. Yeah. So, you know, like that's when you start, like, you know, and then you know, shrooms kind of like got me to that, and then honestly, like, believe it or not, I haven't been on them for a while. Yeah. And for one, it's just like I'm out of it because I used to take some like gummies because I've accidentally overtaken shrooms. That's bad. And I feel like, bro, so get this. And this is a funny story. So it was me and my boy Dan. We were just talking about it because yesterday was the anniversary of Bungalow being closed. Oh, yeah. And me and him were taking shrooms. We take some. And we didn't feel shit. I'll take more. So we're like, we took more. We didn't feel shit. Yeah. We took more. My set started, I think it's right at 5 or 6. Yeah. and like everybody's already waiting. Like obviously, like I threw some crazy parties at Bungalow, so that's what I'd really like. I'd remember by. Bro, it hits me so hard. I had to fucking find my sunglasses, put them hoes on. Even my intro fucked it up.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh shit. We in for a ride now, boys.
Oh, we focusing hard today.
So, and the thing is, you overdid shrooms, and anybody that's ever done it, you overdid shrooms when you can't feel your legs and you feel like you're floating.
Yeah.
That's when you're like, oh fuck, I fucked up.
Yeah.
So I start playing this intro and it's like losing it. And bro, I get on top of the sub that we rented for the closing party.
Yeah.
I get on the mic. Bro, I felt like I was Superman flying and everybody was a bunch of fucking ants. And I'm like, everybody get your fucking hands up on this closing party. And I'm just like, how the fuck am I getting back down there to play the next fucking song? I'm like, fuck. And everybody's just walling the fuck out. And I'm just like, dog.
Yeah.
So then I fucking just say, I fucking jump and I get on there and I'm like DJing. And then I'm just like, I'm on cruise control. But like, luckily, like I can DJ like on shrooms.
Yeah.
Glasses are on and all that. A couple hours go by. I remember my boy Dan comes up running. Bro, are you okay? I was like, what do you mean? Bro, I was really fucked up. I had to like go to my friends and go chill real quick because I was just fucking
this man called it quits.
And then he's like, then I'm still thinking like, you damn, Christian took the same fucking amount. Like, bro, I was really worried about you. And like, I'm just like, yo, we're good. And like, I'm like not coasting. Like, I'm like killing the set and all that.
Yeah.
Bro. So nighttime comes. It's around 9:00, and I think I was done at 11. So like obviously it was like fucking packed, closing party, last day of Bungalow. Yeah. And it's getting dark for me to see in my sunglasses. Bro, I take my sunglasses off. Everything's bright again and I feel like I got fucked up again.
Oh my God.
Because like you're like basically your mind was like
your stimuli just like fucking exploded in your brain.
Bro, and I was just like, oh fuck,
shit.
Here we go.
Round two.
Yeah, bro.
Round two,
I was
baby.
like,
Shrooms was like, nah, you thought you was chilling, motherfucker. Here you go.
Yeah. Oh my God, bro. And I was like, damn.
Bro, I really wish there was a video of you getting down from that sub because I could just imagine you just being like, we lit. Looks down and you just like, shit. And you like, I could picture you just thinking, bro, like you taking your time and getting down there.
Yes, bro. And I'm just like
you're just looking at it for a hot second.
And I'm not gonna cap. I'm fucking afraid of heights. So imagine being on that shit. I'm like, oh,
damn, I'm really high up right now.
I'm like, damn.
Like, why'd I get up here again?
I'm like, and then I finally jump, and I'm over here thinking like, man, I'm about to fucking land wrong or some shit. I can't feel my fucking feet. I'm like, damn, if I break this ankle on this last day, we're going out with a bang, like for sure. Let's go.
First song out, just breaks ankle off the sub, bro. That would have been the funniest.
Nah, what do you mean? I would have been like,
it'd been like, hey, one armed in this bitch. They got a whole wheelchair pulled up. You got one leg
literally, out. You know what you reminded me of is my first official gig ever. And this is like,
oh shit.
So my first official gig was at España in San Antonio. This is 2013, July 24th. The only reason I know the date is because that's Duano's birthday.
Oh, shit.
So it's Duano's birthday, and he's already kind of teaching me and showing me the ropes.
Yeah.
And the reason, I got into DJing was because before I was a party guy. Mm-hmm. I threw the craziest parties. I had the plug at a gas station right there by UTSA where I knew the guy. Mm-hmm. And basically, he gave me discounts on kegs. So,
bet.
Instead of paying $100 on those Sekis, I would get like $50 to $60.
Oh, yeah.
So
solid.
They will call me and be like, every fraternity sorority will call me to get them alcohol.
Yeah.
So I will get them alcohol. And at the time, I was driving a Mercedes hatchback. So put the seats down. I was able to fit 3 to 4 kegs, put it in there.
Oh, easy.
Boom. Yeah. I drove it in there. And I'll come in with the party. And I was invited to every party because of that. And then I threw my own parties. And at the same time, I was going to a lot of music festivals. Mm-hmm. But I never, ever thought about DJing. Like, I hired the DJs. Like, I knew what homies were playing.
You were more just like a party promoter almost.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Like, I mean, I was like, I remember, like, my first venue when they fucking hired me, and it was like a whole different ball game. Like I was throwing like insane house parties, but when I went to the club side, it's like, yo, this is a whole different ball game, because I was like bar sales compared to like house parties was different, right?
Facts.
And on top of that, like I hate to say it, but like, you know, if you were a minor and you couldn't drink, you went to a house party. I mean, that's what everybody did, right?
Did, yeah.
So, but I never thought about it. But I was a big music head since I was in high school. Like, I mean, I sold mixtapes in high school, downloading LimeWire back in the day. Like, that's how I made my money to like buy my own cell phone, all this shit. And so, never thought about it. And then me and Donna started hitting it off because he would see me come out a lot and like always bring a bunch of friends and all that. And at that time, I think I was using already Tractor because I started a virtual DJ, but this is just practicing at home.
Damn, Tractor.
And like, I even try to fucking practice at like my own house parties, and then I'll be like, yo, like, get on. Like,
this is garbage.
Yeah. So, but Duano saw something in me that he was like, yo, like, you're a music junkie. You like to download music. You know how to find music. Like, you should probably become a DJ instead of just like, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. You know, and then he started like teaching me little by little. So then it was his birthday, July 24th. And at that time, I already kind of knew the basics, but nothing crazy. And he's fucked up on his birthday. Shows up like blacked out. I mean, to the point where he's like throwing up in the DJ booth.
Oh, shit, that bad.
And so he goes, hey, I'm going to need you to DJ for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I'm nowhere near. Like, I'm just practicing Serato. Like, I'm nowhere.
This is like a nightclub. This ain't just some regular bar.
It was a Thursday college night.
Oh shit!
Popping bar, like one of the probably craziest nights.
Yeah.
Because at that time it used to be Cantina, and then Cantina got closed down for an apartment, and so the party got moved to España. So I start playing, and if I like a fucked up transition, I remember him like being in the bucket, throwing up like this.
Oh, fuck.
And he'll hear the transition. He'll just put his hand and fix the fucking, I don't know if it was a controller or a CDJ, fix it while he's like putting his head in his bucket. And I'll look at him and okay. And then like, obviously he started like, that's when I started like right there at that moment, started learning about like EDM songs with the first bar to the 8 bar to the 20, like to the 30 bar, all that shit. Like, oh, this is how you transition from EDM. Hip hop's only going to be a chorus, all that. Like, this is all at the moment. I'm like, damn. So we made it through the night. He's fucked up. He goes back to the car. He falls asleep in the car. I go home. And then that's when I was like, at that moment, I was like, all right, I definitely want to like, definitely want to start doing
Start this shit.
Yeah.
Fuck
so
yeah. That's a crazy ass story. Fuck.
So that's how it like really like, that's what he says my first official gig was, because like I like I said, I dropped sets here and there, but I was like nowhere, like I was trash for sure. Like I was not knowing like the basics. I knew like good music selection, but didn't know like the routine. So in a way, I feel like DJing was like meant for me, because even like when I was little, I remember like breaking my dad's needles when I was a baby.
Scratching that shit. Fuck yeah.
I remember doing scratches like when I used to take the cover of a tape and just do that and record on my parents' tapes back in the day on the radio.
Shit. That's cool.
Like, but I never thought about like DJing, you know, and it really hit me whenever like when I started doing music festivals, when I was like, man, I'm pretty sure I can fucking do this. Like, I just don't know how to. And luckily I got blessed to meet Duano and like taught me everything I know. Like all of it. I mean, basically what I know now is what I brought here. Yeah. You know, like when I noticed when I came to Austin was that there was a lot of DJs that were dope, but they weren't DJs and promoters. Over there in San Antonio, you had to be a DJ and a promoter. Yeah. So I already had the promoter side locked in because of the parties I used to do. Yeah. I just needed to do his DJ and boom, like, and for a while, like Duano took me under his wing. He taught me how to set up equipment. He taught me like, and what got me more blessed was that because me and Jampain learned at the same time.
Okay, yeah. So she mentioned that she got taught by Duano too.
So me and her were like neck to neck, like learning gigs and all that.
That's live.
And that's how like so I remember she was already like had DJing longer than I have. She already went to school and all that. Yeah. I didn't. I basically was learning like self-taught. Yeah. And whatever Duano was teaching me. So I will open for her and she will open for Duano. Yeah. And after a while, I was like, all right, cool. Like I will see how you play and all that. And then I got lucky because on Saturday nights, I think Champagne was doing like sometimes Austin with man, there was this guy that was like big in that EDM scene. I forget his name, but I don't know what he's doing now. I think he's alive somewhere, but I think it was Beat Chaser.
Beat Chaser?
Yeah,
okay.
It's like an OG old head, right?
Yeah.
Some people, like, if you talk to some old heads about him, like,
Yeah.
very nice guy, funny, hilarious dude. And she started doing gigs with him, like when Summit was open, Rio and all that. So
I heard Rio used to be the fucking shit back in the day.
I mean, bro, they were on the top 100 Forbes when they first came
Yeah.
out. Like,
that shit's crazy. I heard a lot of stories. Even Nice would tell me stories about.
I mean,
shit
that's
he threw
literally
there.
my first gig in Austin, believe it or not, because of Nice.
Is that real?
So
Shit.
I'll touch that on that in a little bit. But like for me, I got lucky because when Donald started doing these out of town bookings, I was opening for the Conflicts and the Fives and the without the experience. And so I got to learn how to like what these dope ass DJs were doing in Vegas. Cause they were like, at the time, Vegas was the Mecca. Like, I don't care what anybody says at the time. Scam Artists in Vegas was the Mecca
during like
of open format.
2014, 15 era.
All that.
Yeah.
It was
fuck
the
yeah.
Mecca. So I was like watching these guys and I'm like, damn, these guys are so fucking dope. And I was opening for these guys. And like, for example, I was like, I'll even send you pictures. Like my boy Scooter that I booked for St. Patty's, I opened for him in 2014. 2015. That's the first time I met him.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was like some shitty shit. And he came out early to hear my set and all that. Hey, man, you're pretty dope, man. You got some potential. Like, I hope to see you like grow one day. And then like, for him to hear me again, and he just goes, dude, you're fucking awesome. Like, wow. Like, to know that we know each other for this long, with how long you develop, and I haven't seen you in so long, and we stayed in touch. Like, it's amazing. Now, like, I'm like, it was good to hear from him because he saw me like being like 2 years in the game, being just an opener for the longest time, and to see what I've done and develop is like, yo, like you're gonna do big things, and I hope it goes well.
That's dope.
You know, so
that's fucking dope.
But yeah, man, and like I got to see the Chachis and the Fives and all that, and I was able to like picking at each one, like, okay, this guy does this guy does that. After a while, you know, when I finished my like when I was in San Antonio for the longest, like I reached a plateau to the point where if something new opened, I wasn't gonna get the first call. Dwana was.
Yeah, facts.
So it felt where I was the second guy in a way in San Antonio, and I wasn't ready for that. Like I wanted to be the first one. So then my boy, rest in peace, Sharky, he basically hit me up and was just like, yo, I'm going to Austin. I'm gonna go buy some bottles. I'm gonna see if you can open up at Rio. That's how I met MJ. I don't know if you know MJ from
I think so.
So
yeah,
that was the first time I met MJ, and then he sat me down. It's me and Sharky. We're eating sushi at Mako, the old one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And vividly remember this, and I'm like, yo, like, you know, you're gonna open up for Nice and all this stuff. Like, Nice is a dope DJ and all that. Funny story is that the first time I met Nice years ago, he was a fucking dick. But he was like, he used to drink back in the day. Like, if you heard some stories about back in the night, Nice was like a New York fucking asshole. Like he was.
Yeah,
but after a while, like
it wasn't so nice.
But
hell no.
But like, you know, so when I met him, it was like, yo, like, hey, man, CRG, I met you before. Like, you know, you kind of like went off on me, like, what the fuck you want when I was trying to introduce myself like years ago, and I'm like, oh, my bad, man. I was like a stage of my life and all that. Like, I'm sober now and all that. It was cool, man. Like, so, you know, after the end of the set, the only reason I got to open was because my boy was going to pop off. My best friend was going to pop off. So when he popped off and all that, the guys heard me play and they were like, yo, like, you're a dope DJ. How would you like to cover me next week and do a headliner set?
Oh, shit. Just like that?
Just like that.
Out the jump. Okay.
And I was just like, let me get it approved real quick. This is when Umbar was opening on Rainy.
Okay, yeah.
And I think he already knew that was going to be the commitment that he was going to be making. Like, he was gonna get paid and all
He was
that
gonna
shit.
start booking and shit. It was just a whole nother thing.
Yeah, so I mean, he kind of was already doing that, but like,
this is like good pay.
yeah, so
they paid him hella good.
And I mean, they made him like the guy there. So
yeah,
and so I kind of knew that was coming, and Rio wasn't like doing super great, but it was still doing good. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, you know, you're here next Saturday.
Bet.
And I'm like, oh shit, cool. So I do that Saturday, and then I didn't get asked to come again, but I started like coming here and there. And then my best friend Amanda was working at Greenlight, and that's how I met Rec Shop. Greenlight just opened. Amanda was a bartender there, and she introduced me to Rec Shop. Like, hey, this is like, you know, I'm one of the DJs here and all that. We're looking for more DJs and all that. And you let me hop on the set, and you know, you have different styles. I mean, Rec Shop's more like hype energy. Like at that time, I was like more into like I could tell Austin was more like a open format city. So like I kind of brought up some like DJ AM shit, like, you know, routines and all that. And then that's how I got my first residency at Brew Exchange.
Okay.
This is like where now Wild is.
Oh, okay.
So back then it was Brew Exchange. And so that's when I started doing that, and I started doing sometimes Rio, whenever Nice would call me like, hey, they need a DJ and all that. So then I started getting my foot in the door and all that. And after a while, then I stuck with Greenlight for like the longest time, and then obviously got into some trouble because of drinking, and then I got let go. And that was like the thing that basically helped my brand, being let go from them. Because Greenlight was on top of the game. You know, they were having the highest sales.
And they're still killing it.
And at the time, they weren't even doing bottle service.
Oh, really?
Like bottle service, like my friends wanted bottle service, and like we couldn't do bottle service, and then they started doing it slowly. So for a while, like when I got let go from Greenlight, I lost 3 nights in a row.
Oh shit!
Because that was my main gig, and then I had Brew Exchange.
You did like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday there? Or?
So no, I was doing like a Thursday.
Okay.
I was doing a Sunday, but I also was at Brew Exchange as well.
Okay.
So in a way, and then Rec Shop would sometimes like go out of town if he wanted to go out of town to go do something, or like, you know, and I would cover him all the time.
Yeah.
And I think at that time too was that I think he had torn his ACL.
I remember. Yeah, you mentioned that.
So
you mentioned that to me.
So he was out of commission for a while, and I was covering for him during that time. So I was basically like the left hand man for Rec Shop. If Rec Shop couldn't do something, like, you know, I was the one that got called next to him, you know. But then once I got let go, it was like an eye opening. Like, man, like I threw all my eggs in one basket.
And you can't do that
without helping my brand in Austin. And like when I was trying to find gigs, I got stuck at going and looking gigs back in San Antonio. So then I started gigging back in San Antonio, and then for the longest I was like trying to get into concrete, because it's like, man, like concrete was doing terrible at the time. Yeah. Tommy, which is my operations manager now, got rehired to run concrete. And basically my boy Avi from Dallas that does the bookings for concrete, build a relationship, and I'm like, yo, like CRG's looking for gigs. Yeah. You should give him a shot. Cool. First night, concrete, I remember it was a Friday night. I sold all 12 tables.
Oh shit. That's live.
Called every friend from Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, came into town, sold all 12 tables. Yeah. They were like, damn, like we had a high grossing number. You want to come next week again? Yeah. So did it again. Boom. Like, and then like, and at that time it was like promoter mentality. Like now it's like I've kind of like phased out of that because I don't drink and all that. Like I don't go out to promote it like that. Yeah. Because I kind of like know where like my brand stands with the company, and like they take care of me. So like if you go to one of my venues, I've gotten to the point where you know what kind of music you're gonna get. Right. Yeah. Which is good. That's how you build a following. It's the same thing for you. You're a self-contractor. Yeah. If you're playing at Cantina 512 as a resident, and they know that's your night, they know to go there. Yeah, you know? Facts. And so that was the same thing I developed with this company, like building like a establishment of what kind of music we want. That's why I love like Anthem and J Melodies, because they're dope DJs. They know how to play open format and all that. So, you know, they listen to the format and all that. But yeah, like, for a while, it was just like one of those things where like, man, like I started doing like hustling more, and like that paved so many other doors too. Like started doing pop, you know, then I finally got into Summit, and then all this shit. And then, you know, after a while, then I was a resident of Concrete for good, like Friday, Saturday, every weekend.
Damn.
And numbers were like phenomenal. Like, you know, everybody was like asking what the hell's going on over there. And then
I feel like Concrete's always that like comeback kid, no matter what.
I mean, it's been there for years. I mean,
bro, yeah.
And it's such an easy place to make money just because their rent's so cheap.
Yeah.
So like, you can make 100,000 out of the month there, and they'll still kill it.
Yeah, I love that place.
So I mean, it's been paid off. I mean, it needs a big fucking remodel, but
it's getting old.
Yeah,
it's getting old.
Oh, it's old for sure. But you know, like, but yeah, after doing all that, then start doing more shit with Nice. You know, with the Unbar stuff. You know, Unbar West, Pop. What else? That was pretty much it. I even did some stuff at the ranch, but like obviously like the pay isn't great there.
No, it's not.
So
I never.
And I mean, not to shit on like, you know, like gigs and all that, but then like pandemic happened, and then obviously, you know, that's where everything just changed completely. Like you didn't know what you were gonna do from there. And now like with the position I'm in, I'm glad I went there because it's like I told you, I don't want to see myself past 40. And if I do, I hope I'm doing like major like headlining gigs where I can DJ 3 or 4 times out of the month and I'm happy because it pays my bills. I
mean, honestly, I feel like this may be just a personal opinion on my own.
Okay.
With Austin DJs, I feel like the people who are on the lineup to be the 5 or the fucking, you know, the fashion, all these people, the scam artists are you and Rex Shop and Jet Payne as well. Like, because I feel like y'all are the ones that are definitely like, you know, if you got like the people in kind of like Austin that you look at as like the top, y'all both are like pretty much like there.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, like Rex Shop, you know, the way he took Greenlight with him and like how Greenlight helped push his brand and like, you know, I mean, I remember like, dude, it's crazy. Like I remember when Greenlight had that stupid Rebel table for the longest, and I would tell him, I need to build a DJ booth. I remember when there was no LED wall. I remember when there was no lights and it was just the fucking...
It was just...
the Get Lucky sign to come on. Like, dude, it was just... You know, like for him to grow with the brand that he did and then be able to establish his brand, you know, and
then get Dallas.
I mean, from
that money.
Yeah, from that money.
It's
and
fucking
then...
crazy.
Exactly. So like, you know, that's that paved the doors. And for me, I went a different direction was because luckily I met some of these guys already. And I was going to fucking Vegas a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Duano were going to Vegas twice, maybe 3 times a month at one point. And we were just going like Sunday night, go in Monday, be there till Thursday, come back and we'll come gig. Jesus. And like we were doing that every fucking week. And it was just like more of a thing. Like that's how I like me and him like build our like establishments and all that.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the time, I'm gonna be real, like nobody looked at Austin like they do now.
Nah, it's on the map now.
For sure. I mean, rent was half what it is now.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like the biggest thing we had was UT, and now it's like big tech hub. So like, you know, it's built like crazy, you know, but it just comes to show like there's different ways to like be that guy, you know, be a representation for your city, be a representation for, you know, the guys that you want to help the next generation, you know, and you know, and I tell the guys all the time, like, and I always say this, like with like open book, like, don't be afraid to hit me up. I'm an open book. Like if like you needed help, any of my homies needed help. Hey man, I'm having trouble, like, you know, and you know what? Like recently I had a homie tell me like it kind of felt like shit about it, but like it was like more like, man, I feel like they literally told me like, man, I feel like you don't fuck with me. And I'm like, man, it's not that, because the amount of shit I have on my plate, it's hard for me to like show emotion when I got shit to do on my end.
Yeah.
But if you ask me, I'll give you a straight answer. It's going to be black and white. If it hurts you, I apologize. Yeah. But I'm going to be the realest person you're going to ask me to be. And I'm going to tell you the truth. And if you don't like it, then I apologize to it. And I'll be like, look, don't take it offensive. Yeah. This is what I think. This is why I think it. Yeah. And I'll even play devil's advocate at the same time. Yeah. And if it doesn't work out, cool. But I'm an open book. I'm like down to help homies that, you know, want to learn different genres. Like, you know, I recently like, was hitting up my boy Ferno, and I was like, bro, like he opened up for Black Coffee, and like the reason I didn't get to open up because I don't know that vibe. It's a whole different Tulum, like that melodic house.
That shit is.
It's another realm.
It's an interesting vibe for sure.
And you know what's crazy? I started thinking, I'm like, man, this is a rich people's genre.
Absolutely. These are the Tulum, like, I be spending bread on bread. Like, I spend so much bread, I don't even want to spend bread no more.
No, yeah. I mean, like just, and dude, even when they did that show at Summit and at Parlor, it was people I've never seen before. And like, if you would see their outfits, like, and I mean, like,
they wearing Sperry's and shit, or like, nah, they're probably wearing like fucking,
bro, they're wearing Dior's and like Chanel,
Prada shit, and all designer, everything.
I'm looking at it, and like, I'm into designer, like, I love that shit, you know. Obviously, like, I can't afford it like that, but like, you know, like, if I can get something, I will. But dude, I was looking, I'm like, bro, this is probably some of the richest people that live here, and they just don't like go out like that. But because a star like Black Coffee that basically made most of Drake's album with Gordo, you know, like, you start thinking shit like that, you're just like, damn, like, this artist here is here, and like, these people are like dropping hella bread to see this artist, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of like opened this side of like I want to learn it, but it's just like, and this is where I'm stuck at like now as an open format DJ. Where do we go from here as DJs? Like,
facts.
Because for example, Jan Payne, she took off with her Jersey Club, her production and all that, right? So she has her music. When you think about DJ Jan Payne, you think of this lane. When you think about Jay Scheming, I mean, he's trap, you know. But like, you think of CRG, you're probably gonna think, oh, he throws dope ass parties.
Yeah, because I can't think of a genre with you.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
and that's
I've heard you play everything.
And that's the thing. Like, that's a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know, because I can drop a tech house set for hours. You know, I've done the concrete after parties. I've done the cut. I've, you know, I did my own party at the cut with Victory for New Year's. Like, you know, like, I've done that. You know, I'm like more of like creating the party, creating the environment, because I know whatever I put on my brand, like, people know like this is going to be dope. Yeah. Right. So, but like, that's Austin. I got to see it as the big picture, you know, and that's where my edits came in. Yeah. Because it was just like, all right, if the people from outside of Austin can't see what I'm doing as like for this city, maybe these edits that I do for everybody that can play are like, oh, like Christian just does edits because he wants our sets to be great. He wants to, because when I make an edit, I think of myself like you as the DJ, me as the audience. If I hear this edit, am I gonna jam out like, damn, this shit is fire? That's how I think about making an edit. Yeah, all the time. Because if you're gonna play it, that means the next guy's gonna play it, the guy after that, and the next thing you know, is playing all over the city, and then all over the state, all over the world, and it lets me know, hey, this edit was made because I'm doing the same thing I'm doing for the party that I create. You recently, I recently played this shit last Saturday. It was It's a Killer one, bro. I fucking love that one. Which one? It's a Killer. Bro, I don't know, that drop just fucking. I love that shit. That's one of my favorite ones. Yeah, I mean, I make so many that I sometimes forget. But yeah, like, no, I mean, but that's good. You want that. Just your shit is just spread out so much, which is just, it's everywhere. Which is good. So, but I mean, that's really like, you know, why I do it, because I'm not sure I understand. All right, Siri. The fuck? Siri's trying to join the combo. No shit. But yeah, and I mean, that's one thing why I do it, man, like to do the edits and all that, because it's like, I eventually want to, like, you know, and obviously I did some stuff with Jay. Like, I mean, trap is still my shit. I love that shit. And I think it's going to make a comeback. And I have some ideas, because right now hip hop's in a bad place. You know, Latin music saturated, tech house is saturated. Like, I don't know if you saw my Twitter, but there was I saw that. That's actually a good point. Cause it's still popping right now. Like, I can pull it up and I'll still probably get like. No, that shit was on. It was honestly on point, because you're right about 2000 shit.
Because I had to tell some people this too, because they were like, you play a lot of old shit. And I was like, bro, old shit hits. 2000s is hitting right now.
Tell me, if you give me one song, give me 5 songs, right? In 2023 right now, that you can think of that are hip hop that hit besides Jimmy Cook's.
I feel like Jimmy Cook's kind of died.
Yeah. I mean, it's not popping.
It died.
What is the other one?
You got Pretty Girls Walk, though. That's just came out.
Yeah,
I mean, it's still fresh, though.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I try to break records. I'm like one big guy, and and I'm like one to like trying to teach the audience, or at least my audience, like
new shit.
But it just
Don Toliver, though.
I love him.
He's fucking. His whole album was fire. I've listened to that bitch like 20 times. I repeat. Still could listen to it right now.
But it's not gonna hit in the club. Like it's not.
Private Landing, kinda.
Yeah.
But honestly, it also you can't play that bitch. You play that bitch on Rainy, it won't work. You play that bitch at Play, it'll hit.
This is the problem with music right now. And this is like I'm very like where I'm agitated. I remember when what was that song? It was like that rock song that came out that had like that Paramore beat.
Olivia Rodrigo?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I know what you're talking about.
I remember when I used to drop it from the one.
Yeah.
People look at you, what song is this?
Yeah.
And then the chorus hit, and then they start singing it because of fucking TikTok. And you're just like,
yo.
So you're just like, so you got to think about this. People are on TikTok. The attention span of music is like, holy shit. Like, it's crazy because they only listen to music of what they listen to on TikTok. Those 15, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So they only know the hook, or they only know certain parts of the song.
They don't know none of the fucking verses.
Yeah.
At all.
So they just want to hear that. And so that's why music's in a weird place, because the availability of music right now is outrageous. I can listen to the same 20 songs that I love for the next fucking 2 months. And then you go to the fucking club and you're going to ask for that song. They're probably not going to have it because we don't have every fucking song in our library, or like,
I mean, we're not downloading like the shit on the album that isn't really hidden. We're not gonna down. It's just a waste of space in our computer. I mean,
and so
unless we play a lounge shit and we just want to hear shit we want to hear.
And I mean, eventually, I think we're gonna go into the era where we're gonna be able to have all our music. We're gonna be able to stream and DJ at the same time. But that's when,
bro, that's gonna be funny.
That's when basically phone service doesn't exist and everything's Wi-Fi in the nation, and like that's what's really gonna happen. But we still got some time for that. But like that's the thing. Like 2000 music, you download, you had to buy a CD to listen to a song, and that moment of buying that music is a nostalgia of like remembering this track. Bro. Like, what is the first CD you bought in your life?
We'd seen Yandel.
Okay.
I'm not fucking with you. Yeah. I bought that one. I bought that whole at Target. It was the La Revolucion one. It had like the three. It was like the whole trilogy shit. It was my first CD ever.
The first CD I ever bought was, I think it was Eminem's first album.
Oh, fuck.
And I bought that shit at the flea market.
Damn.
Yeah. And
Traders Village?
Nah, it was like some other shit. But like, dude, like, that's what, like, you know, you think about, like, when I listen to that Eminem album, I'm like, man, I remember when I bought it and all that. There's a connection to it.
Yeah, facts.
Now, you search the song.
It's on Spotify.
That's it.
It's right there.
And there's no nostalgia. It's like, oh, I just like this song.
Yeah.
But why do you like it? Like, you didn't go out to go buy it. You didn't go out, like.
Bro, so speaking of that, like, this is irrelevant, but I know you said you went to, where'd you go to high school?
I went to Eisenhower.
Oh, cause see, I went to Jersey Village.
Yeah.
So like down the street.
So I was in the borderline, in the crisp borderline of going to Jersey Village.
Oh, bro. So
I went to. So where did you live at?
I lived. So I actually was at the borderline of Cy Ridge from Jersey Village, but I had homies that lived. They went to Dean Middle School.
Yeah.
So y'all don't know what the hell we're talking about, but. Nah, I remember partying all the fucking time in the Aldine like area.
Woodland Trails.
Yes,
Probably. Yeah.
bro.
That's where all the parties were at.
Bro, we would go there all the time in the fucking backyards, random backyards. We went to the Quickie Mart kind of shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Just get fucking just 4 locals on deck. They didn't give a fuck. Some dude in the front would just be like, just give me 20 and get the fuck out.
Yeah. So I know exactly where that's at. So I think on 1960 and 249. No. 249 and
No, it was a neighborhood. It was in a neighborhood.
No, that's what I'm saying. So so I think you will go on 249.
Okay.
You go inside the neighborhood, and I remember when you went inside the neighborhood. Well, there was 2 locations.
There was a church near it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that one's the one by. It was by North Houston, Roslyn.
Yes.
So I know. That's literally down the block from me. So
that's wild.
So where I lived was on North Houston, Roslyn, and Little York.
Yeah.
So I was in that corner, and then when 249 hit, that's when it became. No, actually, after 249, it became North Houston, Roslyn.
Yeah.
And then it became Bingle, something like that. But 249 was like basically. So when you got to 249, left was where Willowbrook Mall was, and then right took you to I think close to Beltway 8. And then, so like basically that whole entire area is where like all the Hispanics were at and like parties everywhere. Like,
Yeah, nah, it's crazy because I remember I went to Sleepy's and we were talking about that. I was like, this motherfucker grew up like a fucking block from me.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck. When you graduated?
I graduated 09.
Okay, yeah, I was in middle school.
But
I mean, a little younger, no big deal.
It's a little different now. I mean, where we're from, it's hood as hell. Like people don't believe it.
Nah, it is.
It's like it's some hood shit. Like I mean, we have metal detectors like it was fucking airports. Like, but it just
we were a little less in JV.
No, okay, yeah, no, JV was a little different. It
was a weird melting pot of just everything in JV.
Yeah, there and what was the other one? What was the other school that was around there? Was it not Kyle? Was it
no? Are you talking about? There was Cy Ridge. There was
not Cy Ridge.
There was Eisenhower. There was Ike. I remember y'all because it was Ike and some. I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of it. It's all good though.
Yeah. So believe it or not, Chris Evans went to that school.
No shit.
Yeah.
He from the same hood.
Chris Evans is from that area.
God damn. See,
so, like Cypress area and all that. So like it's crazy like to know that like that's like one of my bestest friends, obviously. And to know that some of like my friends were in that area, like and like where they're at now and all that. Like when I tell people I'm from Eisenhower in Houston, they're like, "Oh shit." They're like, because I mean, dude, we had like crack houses right across. the street.
I know. I mean, I tell you, I partied there all the time with like, because I was a little ratchet back in the day. It was fun, but we would have fun, bro.
When you think about it, it's like you think about those times we made it out the hood, bro.
Yeah,
because I got a lot of friends to this day are still in jail.
Yeah, facts.
I got a lot of friends that like they ruined their like sports career. They got like a bunch of kids. They're doing like it's sad shit, bro. And like like now when I tell my parents about this, it's funny. Like they don't believe. Like I was like, man, how come y'all never told us this shit? I was like, bro, y'all were busy working, trying to provide for us. How the fuck would y'all know? Like now, like my parents are more established in life. My dad has a successful business and all that.
Yeah.
So like. When I tell them this shit, it's like, man, y'all should have told us, like, y'all will go through. I mean, dude, we literally had guns in school and, like, the shit would never make it in the news.
No, I remember, like, homies would literally pull up, and this is at JV, and they would just be like, hey, bro, look what I got. You just got a gat on them. One time, I had a homie, I was on the wrestling team, so this dude was on the wrestling team with me. I ain't gonna name his name, obviously, but I remember he was just in my truck chilling, and next he was like, oh, I'm gonna go buy some Rillos. We go to this place, there's bloods all over the fucking gas station chilling. And that was just a normal thing. This dude comes out, he's like, oh, bro, no, we good, chill. Look, I got this. He just pulls out a gat. He had this gat on him the whole time in class, the whole time everything. Yeah. Like, but the thing is, back then, obviously, there were still school shootings back when we went to school, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is fucking like it's every damn day now.
I mean, now, like, obviously social media wasn't like we weren't able to use Instagram and all that. Now, like, the availability of news is so fast. So it's a different time, right?
But it's a huge bit different time.
No, I mean,
which is shitty for social media because y'all kind of killed that.
Yeah. So, but I mean, in a way, it helped, man, because it exposed like the shit that I mean, dude, I'm telling you, I knew of girls getting fucked up on drugs that homies will give them. Like,
same.
Like it's some sad shit, bro. And like to see some of those guys, bro. Honestly, I'm not friends with a lot of guys from Houston. I can
Nah, me
probably
neither.
count like my boy Eric Gonzalez being one of them, like,
Yeah.
and which I text here and there, and like some like, man, I'm trying to think, man, like a lot of my homies I grew up with. Oh, my boy Renee, which I like basically like I see on Facebook how he's doing, but like I really don't have friends in Houston that I like.
Nah, I don't have a lot that I could just hit up off the bat.
Like, I'm in town, let's go do something. Nah, I don't got that shit. If anything, I've met more friends.
Now I'm hitting DJs up
Yeah,
from
exactly.
Houston.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what's good? How y'all
Yeah.
doing? Instead of like homies as much.
Shout out to my boy Fawn and Rectic. Those are my boys.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. And so it just, so you basically know like the upbringing of like getting out of there, going to school, you know, and basically like trying to like learn what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I didn't tell, if I told you this, if you would have told me 10 years ago I was going to be a DJ, I would have laughed at you.
Same. I wasn't expecting this.
You know, you know, like, it's just crazy to think that like where I'm at now and like how much I've come here. I could tell you straight up, like I'm like, you know, even when I drive back, when I go visit, I'm like, damn, like, and my parents don't live in the same house that like my brother now, my brother does now. Like, obviously we own the house, so like,
okay.
But that neighborhood's been like fixed up a little. Like some of the houses getting like redone and all that.
I haven't been there since I was a senior in high school. I want to go back because I didn't live over there. I live like maybe 5-10 minutes from there, close to like kind of near like Traders Village.
Sometimes, bro, you just
Jones
gotta. I've gone where I've driven.
Yeah.
And I've like seen like some of my homies that are in jail today, and I'm like, I'm glad that I never took the risk where I took my first blunt there, or like, oh, like I snuck out to go party at this place. Like, I didn't like. I'm glad that I like basically like my parents were strict, but like I'm glad that I didn't take those risks because then like think about it now, like man, like I would have just ruined my life like everybody else, you know. And
I mean, I wake up. I don't know. I know you probably do too. Like I wake up and I'm like, damn, like I'm literally doing what I love and I'm making, crazy as it is, not to shit on my friends from high school and shit or any like normal person, but like we're making fucking money.
I mean, dude,
doing what we love to do.
I think about if I would have graduated as a software engineer major, you know, before I graduated, I needed only like 12 credits.
God damn.
And I would have been an engineer.
Oh, so you never graduated?
No.
Shit.
Dropped out. I basically, after I beat cancer, like I basically had this, and that's what I tell people, like, you start feeling like you have a second chance of life, you start risking like shit.
Yeah.
And like, that's what it was. I'm like, yo, fuck this. I'm going to do what I always wanted to do.
Yeah.
Become a DJ.
Yeah.
And then I started practicing and practicing and practicing.
Just get those epiphanies. And you're like, especially something like that. I mean, that's a life-changing moment.
Oh, yeah. You get a second chance of life and you beat something special. At the time, I didn't give a fuck because I was going through like a whole depression shit. But like, when you start getting like your chemo and all that, and you start seeing like people that are like 85, 90 years old, bro, like they want to survive. They want to still live. And I'm like, bro, you live like.
You live the life, but like.
Why do you care? I'm like, I want to see still my grandchildren grow a little more. I want to still spend some time with them.
That's wild, bro.
And here I am like, this shit don't work. I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. And this is all because of a stupid girl, right? But like,
oh yeah,
you know, and obviously there was a lot more going on, you know, like me, like dealing with like health issues and all that. But
it's just a young man's mentality. I mean, because when we get older too, I remember, I mean, like there's times where I was in high school, I'm like, man, it don't matter. I could die tomorrow. It's no big deal. But then like you really like start living and you're like, nah, I'm trying to keep this shit going. I'm trying to have a fam, have grandkids.
I'm telling you,
tell the story.
I'm telling you, me feeling 26 right now, I feel like I'd like gain a second chance of some of this shit that I missed out in my 20s that I'm like, bro, I can do this right again. Even though I'm 32 and like, obviously like, you know, there's obviously your body feels older, but like your focus, especially being sober right now, is just like, damn, I can accomplish a lot. And I feel like I can do a great job with it. And if I time myself right, you can do a lot of things, you know? So.
All right. So we're back from a little break. So one thing I wanted to talk about was like, cause I know you're booking now, you're with Trinity and all this. So like, how did you get connected with like Osh and like Donnie and like Murdoch and all of them?
So believe it or not, the reason why I got into the company was because of Tommy. Tommy was the GM at Concrete, and then he had took another position, And then obviously like that all failed and because the pandemic happened, right?
Yeah.
And then when he became the operations manager, he had hit me up.
Yeah.
Hey, we're about to open up Summit Lounge or Red Dragon at the time. Do you want to DJ? And I was just like, oh yeah, 100%. Like I'm ready to fucking go.
Yeah.
The pay's not going to be great. I don't give a fuck. Let's get me out of here.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right.
So I started DJing, and then it was me and obviously Cool Chris. We were doing the nights because obviously Cool Chris will be with Osh. And Osh had heard about me and all that, like, but it wasn't like where, damn, this guy's so fucking dope. Like,
Yeah.
like Osh still had like, believe it or not, Osh still had that DJ ego in him.
Yeah.
Because I mean, from what I know, is like Osh threw some crazy parties too back in the day.
Hey, DJ Bombay.
Yeah,
man.
so
that man was lit.
But yeah, man, and then you know, after a while, you know, the owners were there and they're like, "Yo, who's this DJ? Like, he's actually really good. Like, and like he's bringing a lot of people. He's bringing like bottle service." And like Tommy was telling him, like, "Dude, this guy books tables." Like, and after a while, like, you know, they trusted me and all that, and then, you know, they finally sat down with me, like, "Hey, like, you know, we like what you're doing and all that. I just need you to slow down the drinking because you're getting a little too fucked up and all that shit."
Yeah.
Like, you know. But when I got the call that Bungalow was opening, that's when I really got a relationship with Osh. Like, we sat down. It was me, Donnie, Dennis, Tommy, myself, and then one of the other owners at the time, and Jason. And we're sitting there and we're talking about like, hey, like, Bungalow had just been remodeled. It was basically like brand new and all that. They built a stage and like different tables and all that.
That shit was fucking crazy when y'all were opening.
And
Yeah.
you know, Osh finally sat down with me like, hey, like, you know, what do you think about this? Like, what can we do? And I'm like, honestly, like, I think we can do like a DJ AM style party here.
Yeah.
If we do it right, and it has to be done right. And before I used to go to Parlor and like Umbar was king at the time. Like,
Oh
before
yeah, it
pandemic.
was.
Like,
It was.
they were doing $1 million a month. Like,
Yeah.
And that's without bottle service.
Yeah.
They were doing $1 million months, bro. And when I would go to Parlor, like, I remember like before looking, even like before I started, like I looked at liquor sales and there were good numbers, you know, for
It
like,
wasn't, it wasn't,
but it
the
wasn't
spot.
like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like after pandemic Bungalow, but like,
Yeah.
so I kind of had the vision already, like what this is going to be.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I had told Osh and I remember telling him like, this is what we need. And at first it was tough because of the restrictions, sitting down and all that shit. And for a while, you know, me and Osh were like, you know, Osh was obviously led DJ mentality, like, what do you need? And Osh is really good about that. Like, if there's a turntable you need fixed or a CDJ, if you need equipment, cool. Like, you know, and he was good about getting us equipment and all that all the time. But it was just like I was mainly directly dealing with Tommy for a while.
Yeah.
And then once we started getting more dates, it was hard for me to do Bungalow and Summit. So basically they started asking me like, who do you want to bring to book? And that's where it started. And then I started trying out guys and all that. I'm not going to lie to you. In the beginning, I got a lot of hate because of that.
Really?
Because there was a lot of tenured guys that have been in the game for years that I didn't know about.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And because I came in and I started bringing my own homies,
Yeah.
they felt salty about it. Like, oh, I've been grinding longer than him. Like, why is he bringing his guys from San Antonio?
Yeah.
That's how I brought Justin, Jay.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, man. And then from there, they were like, okay, like, damn, like, Christian got some guys, like, he has some young talent, like, you know, that he's bringing and all that. And so then from there, it just took it off, man. And like, one thing led to another. Like, they were like, hey, like, we want to like trust you to basically handle like gearing. Cause I knew about equipment, thanks to Duano and all that, about sound and all that. So anytime, like, you know, we needed something, like, I would sit down. And then eventually, like, I told Tommy straight up, like, I want to take a role where I'm part of the team. I don't want to say like an ownership or anything like that. Maybe in the future one day, right? But like, like I want to have like not power, but more like a position to like help to like help people and like book shit, you know, and it was like, okay, let me talk to the owners about it, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, man, we're just getting comfy.
No shit,
Bro, my back's
I
killing
honestly
me.
feel good right now.
Yeah, I ain't even.
So,
No, keep going. Yeah, my bad.
but yeah, and that's how it led to like me starting doing bookings and all that, and then eventually like, you know, like stuff started opening up, and I was gonna take like other gigs, and you know, at the moment I didn't know what to do with that because it was like, oh, like let's book CRG, and like.
Yeah.
But then it was like one of those things where like I worked with Tommy for so long and then like got a relationship with the owners.
Yeah.
I sat down with them and I'm like, look, I got all these offers right now. This is what they're paying me. This is what they're offering me. But I'd rather stay here with y'all because y'all take care of me. Y'all have helped me build something that's been amazing. Let's work on maybe giving me like a salary where I stay in contract with y'all. And then I'm like, I basically won't compete with anybody else. I'll tell y'all like if y'all match whatever and get some insurance and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
A couple months they started thinking about it and then they finally like the first thing they did is like match the pay. Like, okay, we'll take care of you. We're making enough money now to be able to pay you. I was like,
Yeah.
cool. So that was the first thing. And then after a while they're like, no, Christian really does a good job like booking the guys that we need to make sure the sets are the way the sets are. And at the time, man, like, I'm going to be honest, like, I really didn't know anybody but, like, Rec Shop or, like, Nice and maybe Grip, like, or, like, there was a couple of, like, Buck, you know, but Buck's already was doing, like, different shit, winning Goldie Awards and all that. Like, you know, Diggy was, like, a 3-style finalist. Like, you know, he was doing other shit at the time, too. So,
It's
like,
crazy.
You know, at the time, it was, like, one of those things where, like, I really didn't know, like, the core of Austin or the culture on it. And that was one thing that was my fault, you know, and not knowing like who's been here, like,
Yeah.
and that's why I got the hate that I got because it was like,
Who's this kid from San Antonio, like coming
skipping
out?
the line.
Yeah, I feel that.
He's not doing the dirty gigs. It's not doing this. He's just getting like straight handed. And that's what really was
A lot of
because
people be like, if you don't do dirty gigs out here, it's almost like you didn't get the rite of passage in Austin. I
no,
feel like,
that's what it is. And,
yeah,
and
100%.
for me to start at Rio, then Greenlight, then like staying on West, Concrete Cowboy, Pop, you know, like the Ranch, Summit.
But it's also not fair for you because it's not like you started here.
Yeah, no, exactly. But
yeah, and it's because like, I mean, I get it for like a new dude who's starting. Like for me, I started in Austin, so yeah, I'm gonna do the dirty gigs.
yeah.
But like for you, you came from a whole different city. So like they can't be. I feel like that's kind of like
And that's
cheap.
what Nice did. Like, believe it or not, Nice
Really?
came in and like, because Nice was basically Nice was the only guy that I knew that was doing the same thing I was, like booking tables and being a DJ. Like,
yeah, he was.
nobody else was doing that, and that I can like maybe Blitz, you know, like Harvey Bombay, like maybe those guys, but like. By the time after pandemic, like Blitz was like killing it at Amazon. They didn't want to come back from DJing.
Yeah,
Harvey Bombay became owners. So they were like relaxing on the DJing shit. You know, Rec Shop obviously was at Greenlight and then Nice was already at Umbar. And those guys were going to get the first call. So I was stuck with like, damn, who wants this?
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know you. Like, you know, Shy hadn't been in Austin.
I wasn't even here.
Yeah, you're like, you know, Shy wasn't in Austin. Like Julio wasn't even, I think Julio was here, but he was retired.
Yeah, he was just working. He wasn't
he was
even
doing
DJing
his day job. He was retired.
He didn't want to come back.
No, and then I brought him on, like, you know, because he was DJing for free on Monday, and the manager told me, like, bro, you need to check this DJ out. He's doing it for free and he's killing it. Because our Monday numbers were crazy for some reason. We're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
It was just my boy RJ and Julio's just there killing it. And at the time, like, Julio had no idea about EDM as much. It was just more open format. But now, like, I would say Jay Millers is on the top 5 list of one of the best DJs in Austin.
I agree.
You know?
100%. He's
Like, every week,
no matter where he's at.
He impresses me every week. You know?
I've heard this motherfucker get the cut on sticks, and it just, I'm like, God,
dude is like,
damn.
you know, and I'm not knocking down like some of the old tenure guys. Like some of the guys are just have their foot in like good positions where, you know, they're just collecting their check and They've been there, done that, and
shit, Julio ain't young.
yeah, I mean,
I'm just playing.
black don't crack like that. I tell him that shit all the time.
That man looked like he's 23.
Yeah.
He told me his age. I was like, how the fuck?
Yeah, he's older than me, so.
God damn.
But I mean, he looks good for his age. But like, you know, a lot of guys have like, you know, I want to be in a position where I'm in too. Like, you know, the way I see it, I was like, I hope to become owners with these guys one day because that's what Osh did.
Yeah.
Was a DJ for them for the longest time, and then eventually made enough money and was able to buy Voodoo Room, and you know, then he got Bijou and all that. And like, that's cool. Like, you know, he got out the right way, you know, and not knocking these guys out there in their late 40s, even 50s DJing, but like, we have an expiration day, and then you know, and what I talked about earlier, like, you know, I don't want to be that guy, man. Like, you know,
I put the work in early.
Yeah. So, and that's where I'm at right now. Like, hopefully I make enough money where I'm like, their next project, I'm like, hey, can I buy in? That percent goes in and you wait on it. The next percent go in on the next venue. And then, I mean, eventually even owners, bro, like, they want to spend time with their family and grow their kids.
They start selling that shit to you.
Yeah, they're like, yo, hey, I'm going to give you, and if Tommy's still in the company or wherever it is, like, hopefully he is. I mean, me and Tommy work really well. Like, I would hate for him to leave. And I tell him that all the time, like, you know, but hopefully if like, you know, if Donnie or Dennis were like, yo, like, we're going to spend time with our kids. We're going to give you our shares and this is what we want. And I still want to take a cut, but y'all are going to handle the company and then we'll just come here and there. That's the vision I see eventually. Hopefully it happens, you know, but like, just never know, right? Yeah. Shit happens, you know, like, you know, some suing shit happens. You never know, right? Like a lot of so
bars they're not really made to last forever.
No, but if you run it right, you have a great team. I always feel like, you know, like look what Bungalow did. Like,
or Voodoo. I mean, shit, Voodoo's been around forever.
Yeah,
and Library too. Like a lot of those bars.
I mean, shout out to Echo. Like, you know, he's done a good job. Like with the format, with the music, and all that, and that's why they keep Echo around all the time. And didn't they just do something at Toulouse? So like.
They did just remodel Toulouse,
And so, like, you know, like Echo, they're listening to Echo because he knows, like, hey, like, I've been here for a while, like, been here for years. And y'all know I'm a dope DJ. Like, take care of me. And then they do. They take care of him. And then, you know, if you realize, like, Rec Shop's the same boat. Like, he's been at Greenlight for a long time. And eventually, like, you know, when you feel like you're capped out, like, at a venue, you can't grow no more, like, it's time to spread in. And now you see Rec Shop doing Bayfair,
Devil, like, he's Devil, doing all this
like,
shit.
You know, and
he's all over Houston now.
Yeah, he's in Houston Dallas, with his interlude crew and all that. So like, when you start feeling you're in a plateau, it's time to figure out what is your next option. And that's where I there's been times like I felt that way, like where I've hit a plateau and like, what's my next step? My next step is traveling, because if I do get out of this, I'm losing an opportunity maybe to like be an owner or maybe be a business entrepreneur, you know. And if I lose that, then what is my out? Anthem just graduated. Congrats to Anthem on graduating. You know, but that's his out. Eventually, like,
he's got, I mean, he had a whole podcast. I mean, too. He told me, he's ready to get a real job, be a software engineer.
I mean, that makes money, bro.
It makes hella money.
And so
he's in a great city for it too.
I mean, dude, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, during the pandemic, I was mad at him and finished those 12 hours. And I did not look into it too. They were like, well, it's been over 5 years. It's because it's been over 5 years. You have to retake a lot of your courses. So So it was one of those things where I'm like, fuck, I got to start all over. There's no point. And then I did go back to school just to do it. And I realized it wasn't for me. Like, what I'm good at, I really need to figure out how to establish that, become the guy of it, and make myself better. And that's what I tell everybody all the time. Like, do that. Because once you do that and you find your niche and you can build a business out of it, eventually you'll be set for life where you don't have to worry about being a self-contractor. Where am I going to play this month? Okay, what days you got?
Scared that your month looking light. Like, can I afford rent?
You know, like,
all that shit.
Like, now I got to take a pay cut. Now I got to do this and that. You know, you got to figure out, like, hey, what is it that I got to do to grow my brand in order for me to have a backup? Pandemic taught me that I needed a backup. You know, and like, if you would have told me that Patreon would have been popping, like my Patreon would have been popping like it is right now, What, I done that shit a long time ago.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, that's literally just all your edits on there, everything.
I'm basically getting paid for the time what I do already.
Yeah. Do you still post to like Club Killers?
I do.
But mostly to Patreon?
So it depends. So I separate it most of the time. My only issue with Patreon is that, well, Club Killers really is that there's a new rule due to label reasons. Is that after 90 days, music has to be taken.
It's cut off. Yeah.
And if it's a Rihanna or Drake song, it needs to be gone in 2 weeks.
Fuck, really?
Because it's all
just saturated.
Sony.
Yeah. Oh, it's because it's Sony?
Sony is the monopoly king of the music industry. So
yeah, they are.
Anything that's Sony, Chainsmokers, Sony, 2 weeks.
God damn.
So it got to the point where like a lot of people were asking me like, hey man, like I heard this edit the other day, but it's not on Club Killers anymore. Like, where can I download it? So then I thought about it and I'm like, you know what? I should probably just start my Patreon to not just add new shit, but like to add the shit that like where it's archived. So there's been times where I upload like on CK and then on Patreon because some people can't afford many record pools, right? So
yeah, this shit adds up.
But what I like about my Patreon too is that I upload music that I download that I like, and I have like a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
And like obviously you pay extra for that, right? But like it kind of like shows like the music that I work to download because I don't like upload like exclusive shit from record pools and all that. Like to me, that's like taken away from record pools.
Yeah,
because especially if like, for example, my boy Cream at I think it's at my MP3 pool. Like he's one of their editors, and then you have Scooter as an editor and Danny Diggs as an editor for DMS, and then you have DeVille for CK. Then you have Fade and Square and Alex Dynamics on HMC.
HMC, yeah.
Like all these guys are like, they're getting paid to do that. So for me to do that and take that away from them, it's pretty fucked up.
It is.
So like for me, it was just like, I won't do that, you know, but I'll upload shit that I find that I know it's not on record pools, that I know it's like on different shit. And that way it helps like, oh shit, like where did he get this song? But I like, and then also like it shows them my brand, like, damn, this is like dope music that he downloads.
That's a lot of research too.
Yeah. So, and I'm getting basically paid for that.
Yeah.
Which I'm cool with that. And on top of that, they're getting that content and they're basically like, yo, like they'll wait, you know, and you know, like it's not as crazy like as like some numbers are doing, but like I didn't expect it to get like to where it got. And some people say it's a little too much, but like I'm like providing you, even like if I record a mix for Sirius XM, I'm uploading the mix, I'm uploading the track list per song. Yeah. And basically in order how I played it. Yeah. My edits, same thing. Like if I have a routine edit, I'll like upload that. And basically I'll say like, hey, I use these 3 edits to do these routines. Boom, goes to what? When this, and I put structures on it. And like, you know, so it kind of shows like, oh shit, that's how he did that, you know? Yeah. So that's the next project I'm working on there, is that I'm gonna record my routines and then I'm gonna upload how I did them, and also like upload like my Serato, like basically like double screen it. And then like once I upload that, it's gonna show like, so.
That's what's up though. I mean, that's just shit ton of work.
I mean, yeah, it is, but like I said, like,
I mean, it's worth it.
I need different outlets, man. Like I you know, it's just, you know, like, yeah, I'm on salary. Yeah, I know. Like I get DJ pay and then I get paid from my Patreon. But like it just, I need to find different avenues until I make enough money to be, you know, maybe a partner one day, or, you know, like buy myself in. So
should start a podcast. It's fun.
Bro, I thought about it for the longest time, man. And yeah, I really wanted to so bad. Like, especially because like the Row guys, like they've influenced me, and like I'm really good with those guys. They're my friends for a long time now. Yeah. And, you know, like I've seen them grow. They've seen me grow, you know? So it's like, you know, like it's cool that you're doing this, man, because it's like, I know it's like stressful, and like me and Crooked talk a lot where how stressed he is. Yeah. Because his OCD is crazy. Like he likes,
I mean, I've heard him talk on it, because I mean, I got this inspiration from the Road podcast.
Yeah. So like,
because I don't even like podcasts. Yeah. I'm not going to be capped. I only listen to like the Road.
Even when I tell people like, like the reason like I get on these things is because one day, like let's just say you're down, or like one day you like did something for your community or like life or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
One day you can look back at this and like say like, damn, I was doing all this at this time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a great beauty about having this history. Like, you know, you've already interviewed a bunch of guys that, you know, some people are always questioning about like, oh, how did they get there? Like, how did they start? Or, you know, how did they become the way they became? And, you know, now you have that evidence and information and that thing that like, oh shit, like this is why this guy does that. This is why this guy does this.
Yeah.
And, like where he came from and all that. So like, it's cool that you're doing this, man. And like, it's cool that you're doing it for like the Austin and then like community and all that, because now people are like, maybe 20 years from now, if I am retired, they're like, man, you should have heard about this guy named CRG or Kino and all that.
Yeah.
They had this crazy podcast and like, they're like, oh shit. And then they start looking about the history, the background, because like, if you think about the old heads now that were killing it, there's really no background on it.
There's no proof. I mean, not saying proof, but there's just like no, like video or there's not a lot of pictures. It's not a lot of, it's just like a lot of like stories, which are dope. And that's also why, like, you know, like when I had Cool Chris on here, I want Cool Chris to tell the stories about the shit that happened back in the day.
That was a good podcast, man. I really enjoyed that one. That was like, damn, like, to know like what he went through. And like, you know, I even told him, like, it's funny, I texted him the next day when I heard it. It was like, man, you know, I know you lost your mom, and like I was there whenever he was going through that period. I remember when he was DJing, like, dude, like he was so fucked up in the head that and devastated that he accidentally left his laptop at home.
Oh shit.
And I told him, I was like, man, you know what? Don't worry about it. And then me and Ash had a conversation. I'm like, yo, like, I told Ash, like, man, give this guy some time off to kind of like. And then he literally told us in our face, like, man, I don't want time off. This is what makes me happy.
Nah, I believe it.
And you know, like, when he told me that, I felt that. And I was like, you know what? I get that.
Yeah.
But like, I even like, I texted him and I told him that like the next day when I heard of that podcast, I was like, man, I was like, just know your mom, be proud of everything you accomplished from not drinking.
Yeah.
Because if you think about this, some of the stories he tells, like he was telling, like, he's like basically like saying how his friends passed away, but he's alive today.
Yeah.
Because he like went sober. And now he's helping like the younger generation, like younger kids coming into Bijou, come into like Voodoo Room and get their start of their career in Austin.
Yeah.
And that's something to be proud of, I told him, because it's like, not everybody does that, you know? And, you know, I told him, I was like, and now that your mom's watching you doing all that, like, I told him, I was like, you should be proud of that, man. And yeah, like me and Cool Chris used to talk a lot whenever he was like working with us at Parlor, but like, obviously a lot has changed when Bungalow closed. So like, so much like, it's changing every time now because we don't know where Rainy's at right now. It's in a weird place.
It's fucking, and they just got rid of that parking lot behind it, like Umbar, and it's fucking, I'm so tired of this shit. Now there's a serial killer out, so great. Go Rainy.
But, you know, I honestly, I try to like always like, it's hard to keep up with people. Yeah. It really is, man. But like, I hope people, if they're listening to this, like, if they ever want to reach out, like, I'm always an open book. Like, I'm not one to like, if you're even like depressed or some shit's going on where you're just like, yo, I don't know what to do about life, or like you have money issues, like, you know, I'll even sit down and figure out your finances. Where like, why the fuck are you broke? Like, what are you doing wrong? Because as a DJ, you could be making good money, but you can also be blowing that shit and not fucking it up. I was like, me being sober right now, bro. Yeah. If I can compare you to the amount of money I blew buying bottles,
I believe it.
Bro, I'd be rich as fuck right now. Yeah. I'd be like probably like bar ownership, some shit right now. Like, and now to think about that, and it's just like, man, like when I see my bank account now as a sober guy, I'm like, yeah. But like I tell you, like I got more shit to do, like where I'm growing avenues, right? And, but yeah, man, like it just, yeah, man, like I said, like at the end, I just want to end it like where if anybody ever needs help, like even when like. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, if you ever want just like a piece of like knowledge or, you know, what did you do to do this? Or like, just hit me up. I'm an open book. I used to be afraid, but now like, that was my thing. I used to bottle in shit. Now, like, I'm an open book. Like, I would be like, okay, this is what I went through. This is why I went through it. How will I have handled it? Like, I honestly, sometimes some of my like moments, that's some of the best things to do, bro. Just like analyze your shit, write it down. I'm like, okay, what are the solutions? How can I fix this? Writing down is the best thing I can tell anybody. Like, write your shit down, because if you don't, you're just letting your emotions and whatever you have in your brain just circle around all the time, and you're not going to solve it. And then you'll just have depression, anxiety, and your mental health is the most important thing in life. And this is what I tell, and this is how I end it. If you don't put your mental health first on anything in life,
yeah,
you're not going to succeed.
no,
Period.
definitely not. You need it. Your brain is the most important organ in your body for a reason.
It runs everything,
Yep.
And
It's a power source.
if you don't control your anxiety, you don't control anything. If you can't control it, and I'm not saying anxiety is controllable. If you can't control it, or you can't figure out how to stop it, or how to like basically put it on pause, like maybe it's time to ask for help. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Don't be afraid to ask for help. People are there to help you out. You'll be surprised how much help you can get. But
You just gotta open it up.
yes, sir.
Biggest key. We'll end on this note for everybody.
Yep.
Biggest key in success in life is admitting you're not a fucking god,
Yep.
and in admitting you have issues.
Yep.
I agree to that too.
First, it's admitting. That's the number one.
Admitting, bro.
Admitting it. Like, admitting you're a fuck up. Admitting that you're an alcoholic. Admitting
Yep.
admitting all these things that you do wrong. And then
Mhm.
we're like, okay, how do I fucking fix this?
Yep.
So,
100% agree. That's a great note on ending on that one. I like
sure.
that. Fuck yeah, bro.
but
Well, shit. I'm gonna get adjusted real quick. I'm chilling. So you got back problems out here. But all right, is there anything else you want to add?
nah, man, that's it, man. I feel like I just tucked my ass off today.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. We got your whole story, bro. I love it. I
Same.
mean, there's still more, and we're going to keep growing this podcast like
For sure.
I said, and we're going to get you back, get everyone back, and hopefully have a
Hopefully,
studio.
Maybe one of these days I'll come co-host with you.
Hey, I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Get crooked on here. Shit. That'd be live.
For sure. Man, shit. Honestly, I was telling who was I telling? I was telling Osh like he should be on a podcast one day, because that guy has some stories too.
Bro, I would love to get Osh on here, actually. And I'll just say one more thing real quick, because you were talking about Cool Chris. Cool Chris, Nice, and Rex Shop gave me my shot
Yeah.
here. Cool Osh, Nice, and Cool Chris all went to the Mark, saw me DJ, and that's when Cool Chris hit me up. And Nice was trying to bring me into Unbar and everything else.
That's how it starts, man. Like a lot of San Marcos, like I know Child's from there.
Yeah.
Who else was from San Marcos that came in? There's a couple guys. I mean, dude, yeah, that's how it literally starts. Like it's like San Antonio too. Like you grow in San Antonio, and then once you reach your cap, you go to the next city to develop. And like my thing was like I didn't want to go back to Houston. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if you think about it this way, but like the way I saw Houston was one of those things where like I feel like a failure if I move back.
I don't know. I'm planning on moving back.
Well,
I love Houston, but that's just me. That's just me. I love it. I mean, I don't plan on
hate going
moving with
there.
my mom and dad, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But I feel that, you know what I'm saying? Like
And Houston's scene DJ wise is like
there's too many guys though. I mean, like
you can't just move in all willy nilly. You gotta do what Rex doing.
yeah.
If you want to move in, like you gotta be playing there damn near every weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but there's like, man, there's a lot of Chiefs, man. Like, I mean, like the top guys I know are like Rectic,
Yeah.
Vaughn, my buddy Icon. Like
Icon, yeah. Shout out all of them.
is one of all those three guys are my boys. Like I talk to them on a regular. Henson's one of them.
Interloop, all them.
Yeah, like most of the Interloop guys, like, and it just like those are the guys that are really like dominant right now if you kind of look at it. Oh, especially my boy Strategy. Shout out to my boy Strategy.
Strategy and Dolo.
Yeah, he wants me to get on the pod over there. So his pod is actually hilarious if you ever want to hear it.
It is funny. I've seen it. Shout out to them. Check them out. Check their podcast out as well.
But yeah, man. So
yeah.
okay. I guess we're good.
We are finished. Let's thank you, CRG, for pulling up.
Appreciate you having me, my dude.
My name is DJ Kino. We are out.
Later.